Hey, it's Chris again with C&H Auto Accessories coming from Margate, Florida. And today we got another thing we did a light custom with that you won't be able to find on any of the websites because we're doing it as a custom. So that being said, before we get started, that is our telephone number. For example, the product I'm going to show you, I'm going to put a link to the product at the bottom of the YouTube video, but the things we did extra won't be on that, so you have to call us. That being said, come on over here. We have a Ram 2500. This is with the 6.5 foot bed, and it's got the Rambox. Now, as you know, we put a Retrax on there. Now, Retrax does not offer a T-slot with the 2500 or in the 6.5 foot bed. They only offer the T-slot in the 5.7 bed, not the 6.4. Now, as you can see, there is a T-slot on here, and we added this T-slot to it because the rail that comes with this is just wide enough. They added. Now, this is the HD T-slot, so this is it literally fills that thing perfectly, and I think it matches up very nicely. So, now a couple of things I'm going to go into before we get started. The cover itself is going to have a lifetime warranty from Retrax, and this is the RetraxPro, and the Pro is the all-metal one. If you look here, you got the bigger slats than the Retrax 1, which is the polycarbonate. And then the Pro holds more weight. Polycarbonate is 300 pounds. This one's 500 pounds. 500 pounds is pretty much the top of the line weight capacity for a metal cover. Now, a lot of metal covers is less than that, but 500 pounds is kind of your max weight. So this is going to be one of your stronger ones. Now, if you see here, it does have the Rambox, and of course, a lot of people, if I don't open the Rambox up, let's say, you can see it does clear everything here. If you can get there with the camera, let me get out of your way there. I can see it, no problem whatsoever with us adding this on here, because I know a lot of times, I guess they're afraid if they put the T-slot in there, and the ones they do put the T-slot are about slightly bigger. And what would happen is it would prevent this from opening. Now, the way we're doing it does not affect the Rambox whatsoever. It opens up just fine. It even has a little curve there. So it all works out the way it's supposed to work. So what we have done here has not affected the Ramboxes in a negative way whatsoever. So let's go ahead and open this thing up here, and I'll show you a few things here. Now, we did add a little extra foam along the sides here. You don't really need to, but we did it because it just looks better. Now, when we go close, we have to put a little extra effort in there because they compress those in there. Again, not a big deal. Now, the RetraxPro is the dual lock. What does that mean? Well, you have a opening mechanism on the driver's side, but the lock itself opens and locks on both sides. Now, on the Retrax 1, it's just one side. The RetraxPro is both sides. Now, the one thing you have to remember, now you have to make sure you're tall enough to reach over here to open this up here. As you can see, I'm 6 foot. I don't have a problem. Now, if I was 5'5", I might have an issue with this, but most people, no problem whatsoever. Now, what's nice about the Retrax, it does lock anywhere along the track. So if you want to put it in a certain spot, you can. It also has this nice little thing here, and what this does is protects the lock from the weather. Like if you live up north, let's say you got a little water in there, and of course it froze, and you try to get the key in there, and you can't open it because it's frozen. This kind of helps with that. So again, you push the button, you got a little handle here, walk along the side of the vehicle, locks into place. Now, I don't know if you can get the camera in here, but this does have a very nice seal along here. Now, this one, as rolling covers go, this is going to be one of the better ones for weather. If you notice, it's beginning to rain, but we'll finish this up. But it is not considered a waterproof cover because they really don't make a waterproof cover. They're all weather resistant or water resistant, and that's in that category for this. Now, I know a lot of people come here and they're thinking they're buying a submarine. They're just, the actual bed itself is very hard to seal. So it's very hard to get these covers. Now this one, because it has a really good seal here, it has a nice wide rail here, and if you come over here, if you can see this seal right here, this is the only rolling cover that when you close it actually seals the canister. And that's really good because what happens all the times, a lot of them will have a gap and they let the water in and then it drains it out. Not a big deal, unless you're in a bad storm or you're going through a car wash where so much water goes in there, it overflows the system and then pours into the bed. This company is like, you know what, when we close it, we really don't want the water to go in there. And that's what we got going on here. Now, if there's water sitting on here and you open it and it goes in there, no problem, it just drains it out. So Retrax done a lot of good things with the cover. They got a 500-pound weight capacity. They got the lifetime warranty. They're going to be better with the weather and water. And it's the only one that locks anywhere along the tracks. And of course, one of the downfalls, that didn't have a T-slot for the 6.4 Rambox, but we fixed that too. So if you like what you see, again, I'll put the link for the Retrax in the bottom of this YouTube video. If you went to Retrax with the T-slot rail, you got to call us. Now I can put these on here in the store. I have a customer, we just had the Retrax delivered to the store. We're adding the T-slots for him. He had a Honda Ridgeline, and again, Retrax doesn't have a T-slot for the Honda Ridgeline, but we're putting one on for him. We're packing it up, and then we're shipping it out. So if you don't live here and you say, wow, when am I gonna do it? Not a problem. We'll ship it directly to store. We'll go ahead and do everything we're gonna do. We'll repackage it up and send it to you already done. You don't have to worry about putting it on, because the way we do it is a little bit better. I've seen people just put self-tappers in there, and they don't work as well what we do. Plus we seal them when we're done, make sure you don't have any water issues. So it's better to have us do it. Again, I'm Chris with C&H Auto Accessories. I'm in Margate, Florida, and this is the RetraxPro. Now this is the MX, but we kind of converted it into an XR, which is your T-slot. And before I go, hit that like button. We really appreciate it. Subscribe to the channel. You get to see stuff that really no one else is doing. I mean, eventually, I guess someone might say, oh, look what C&H is doing. And we have people copying us, which I guess that's okay, right? It's going to happen. But we'd like to be first. Thank you so much.